Paul Pogba to Manchester United. On Wednesday night, reports exploded in France that a deal had been agreed. And after 3 or 4 hours of mires and swamps and different journalists saying different things, the whole situation got very, very confusing. So what I'm going to do is run through everything that happened right from the start, from L'Equipe's initial reports, the whole way back through in a full circle to L'Equipe's front page. Now, starting things off, L'Equipe is a French newspaper, got a very strong reputation. They're saying that a deal for Pogba to join Man United had been agreed by all parties. And a party started. Man United fans were basically celebrating because L'Equipe is not a paper that normally says anything like that unless they've got strong sources which indicate that is the case. Now, this was followed up by Fabrizio Romano. He works for Sky Italia. He was saying that Pogba had accepted a 5-year contract worth 13 million euros per season. So we've got L'Equipe and Romano. Romano also works for Gianluca Di Marzio. So strong reputations on the line here. And then Duncan Castles came in, obviously Jorge Mendes' journalist playtoy. He said that the deal is set to be completed by the weekend, world record transfer. Everybody's pointing in the same direction. Then Gianluca Di Marzio came in, the person that we're all looking to and listening to in terms of this Pogba deal. He said that Man United's 110 million euros second offer wasn't going to be enough and that Juventus were holding out for the full 120 million. And he brings up the point, Mino Raiola's percentage was really an issue and remains an issue. Then came the curveball. As you can see here, he's saying Real Madrid had came in with some late interest for Pogba. But, this is an important but, he's saying that Pogba told them he had promised himself to Manchester United. Had he just snubbed Real Madrid? Following that, we've got an article from The Guardian from Romano and Christensen, basically saying what we've already reported here, saying a 92 million second offer, but that it was Mino Raiola's percentage, which could be anything up to £18.4 million, ridiculous, had to be paid by Manchester United. So all the reports are saying that, you know, the fee is there, but it's Raiola's percentage which is causing the issue. Then came the big curveball of the night from Sport Italia, running quotes from Juventus director Giuseppe Marotta. Now, he was saying there is no contact with Manchester United for Pogba. The situation is no different to when I spoke to you last Friday. Now, that goes against everything we've been reporting this week, everything Di Marzio has been reporting, the Italian press, the French press, the British press. Are you telling fibs, Mr. Marotta, or is he telling the truth? As you can see here, he said back in May that nothing was going on with Pjanic, and then Juventus signed him. So we might take that with a pinch of salt, but it's interesting that he said it nevertheless. Then we had Jose Felix Diaz, a master journalist from Spain who's considered to have a good reputation. He came out and said that Real Madrid had not spoken to Juventus on Wednesday about Paul Pogba. And that raises the question of, are Juventus planting the Real Madrid story just to force United's hand in this situation? Or have Real Madrid really came in with a late interest? If they had, and we're talking, as I said, from the master journalist Jose Felix, surely it would be on the front page of their newspaper the next day. No. As you can see here, they're talking about Raphael Varane and how he has snubbed Mourinho and doesn't want to move to Manchester United. Now that screams of a newspaper that's desperate to get a victory out of a loss. Maybe that's the situation here. And then if we're looking at the other Spanish newspapers, we can see here that Sport ES, they've got a front page splash of Pogba to United. It's their main story, but there's nothing on Mundo Deportivo and there's nothing on AS either. If we look at the Italian press as well, what have they been saying? We've got Tutto Sport. They haven't really mentioned it on the front page of their newspaper, but their website says the 20 million per season for Pogba, including image rights, has already been agreed and everyone's happy with that, but that it's Raiola's fee is the issue, as has been reported previously by Di Marzio, by Romano. It seems to be the sticking point. Corriere dello Sport does not focus on the Pogba deal itself. They focus on Mino Raiola, and he gets barbs thrown at him. They're basically saying that he earns more than Messi, that, you know, for a football agent, what is he doing? And you do get the sense of this from the Italian press that they're not going to be blaming Pogba if he leaves. They're going to be blaming Raiola. And I've spoken to Juventus fans, and that's the case as well. They feel that Raiola is forcing Pogba to move in his own self-interest rather than for the progression of Pogba's career. But joining United is hardly going to be a step down, is it? Especially under this Mourinho project. Moving on to Gazzetta, As you can see, they're focusing on Raiola as well. Everybody in the Italian press is focusing on Raiola and not the deal itself. And after that, we get back to the full circle I was talking about. Here's L'Equip's front page for Thursday. They're saying Pogba to United, transfer of the century. Regardless of everything that's gone on in between, they're sticking with their original story. Now, let me know in the comments what you make of all of this. It's very confusing, had to do a lot of research, had to look at every angles, but this is how the story's developed. For me, I don't know whether it means I'm more pessimistic. I just feel that it's all down to Raiola and his fee and who's paying that, rather than anything else. It seems like Pogba's agreed his contract. He wants to move to Manchester United. Juventus have accepted that he's going to go. But who's going to pay Raiola's fee? Juventus don't want to. I don't think Man United will want to. So it seems like that's the sticking point. And that shouldn't be anything that stops Pogba moving to Manchester United. It shouldn't be anything that stops a deal. It just makes it that little bit more complicated. And on a more light-hearted note, to finish the video, we've got confirmation here from Pogba's barber in Miami that he's moving to Manchester United. Done deal, sealed, confirmed, right? Well, sometimes in transfer windows, you have to look at barbers and tailors. If you look over there and you remember that Schneiderlin and Schweinsteiger were accidentally announced by Man United's club suit tailor before the official announcement because they were flying out for our pre-season tour that day. And then he had to take the pictures down, but not quick enough before people can see them. So maybe Pogba's barber has had a Freudian slip. He's deleted it off his Instagram account now. So maybe. But that is it for the whole Pogba story. As you can see, it's rather confusing. I hope you've enjoyed it. Drop a like on the video as always, and we'll try and bring you as many updates as possible. Hopefully, in conclusion, will be Pogba standing there with a Man United shirt. Take it easy, Reds.